Do 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 do. Boom, boom. Here we are back together. Yes, it's lovely to see you again, and the garden is looking rather nice. The birds were very busy, but now all of a sudden they've become quite shy. I wonder why. Maybe because they know that we are live at the moment from the birthplace of the English language. This is English Addict coming to you live from England. Yes, we are back together again, everyone. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you feeling happy? I hope you are feeling happy. Can I first of all ask you to please give me a lovely like? If you like what you are looking at right now, please give me a lovely like. And I hope you will like what I have coming up for you today, because there are lots of things to talk about, a few things to show you as well. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Duncan. I talk about the English language. You might say that I am an English addict because I am crazy about English. Last night I was busy and I was doing something that I don't normally do. I was looking through some books, some reference books, because I found quite a few hidden away in my cupboards, and I was writing lots of notes down for ideas for future English lessons. So sometimes it is fun just to do that, just to look around you. It is amazing how you can find inspiration or ideas just from looking around where you are. So I hope that has been useful to you, because that's sometimes how I do my thing. That is my process. My name is Duncan. I talk about the English language, and yes, we are here together today, and I hope you are having a good Wednesday. It is getting ever so near to Christmas, and I did notice the other night, Mr. Steve and myself, we were driving through the middle of Much Wenlock, and we did notice that everything is looking rather Christmassy, because all the Christmas lights are now on in Much Wenlock. It really does feel as if Christmas is in the air. It is English Addict coming to you live from the birthplace of English, which is, of course, England. I hope you are having a good day wherever you are in the world. Christmas lights are all around. Now this is something I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. I said I wasn't going to put some Christmas lights outside the house. However, I did decide to put a few outside the house. So for those wondering, yes, I have put some Christmas lights outside the house. Not many, just a few. So there are some outside. I must confess I haven't put the Christmas tree up yet. We might be doing that tomorrow or maybe Friday, because Mr. Steve will be finishing on Friday for 2 weeks. 2 weeks off from his job, and we will be together for 2 weeks. I hope there won't be too many arguments. You know what it's like. A lot of people say that Christmas time is a stressful time because lots of people get together and they will often fall out or have arguments, or they will start to talk about certain subjects, politics. People start shouting and screaming. Maybe certain members of the family have too much to drink. You know what I'm talking about. And then arguments start to happen. So I think I'm looking forward to having a relaxing festive season, to be honest, because I'm not going to lie to you. This year has been a bit rubbish for me. I suppose you might describe this year as bittersweet, because I had some sad things happen and also I had some nice things happen. So it has been a very strange year, not the best year I've ever had. I will be honest with you, it hasn't been a particularly good year, if I was honest with you. Outside, let's have a quick look outside. Oh, it's looking rather nice outside. The birds were very busy earlier. In fact, we did have a woodpecker earlier, but of course, now I've decided to do my live stream. All of the nice birds have gone away. But we did have quite a few birds earlier, and you can see they are very busy feeding from the bird feeder right outside my studio window, because it is that time of year. However, having said that, the weather isn't too bad at the moment. It's quite warm. Apparently this weekend it is going to be around 13 or 14 Celsius this weekend. So it doesn't really feel as if winter is arriving once again. We did have a cold spell, and then everything started to become milder, and this weekend it is going to feel like spring. Isn't that weird? Today we have lots of things to talk about. I should also say hello to the live chat. Hello to the live chat. How are you today? I hope you are okay. We have a lot of people here. Oh, hello to Vitas. You were first again. We all want to know what your secret is. How do you keep your finger so fast? We want to know what your secret is. It is English Addict, and yes, we have a lot of people on right now. Hello also to Mosen. We also have Beatrice. Hello, Beatrice. Nice to see you here as well on the live chat. We also have Luis Mendez. Now, I have to say, I have no idea why, but my Echo that I often use has stopped working. And I have to say, I'm rather heartbroken by that, because I love sending out my lovely greetings to Lewis and anyone else who wants one, but at the moment I can't, because my Echo isn't working, and I don't know why. Why is my Echo not working anymore? I wish I could find out. I was trying to fix it this morning, and I was unsuccessful. I wasn't successful. I couldn't do it. I couldn't fix it. I was unsuccessful. I was not able to fix it. Who else is here? Parisa is here. Hello to you as well. Lots of people joining on the live chat. We also have Christina. Hello, Christina. It's nice to see you here today. I hope you are having a nice, relaxing day wherever you are. Hello, Artur Kamara. Hello to you. Nice to see you here. Also we have, who else is here? Yun Bin. Hello to you as well. Thank you for joining me. A lot of people joining me now on this Wednesday afternoon. Yes, it is Wednesday afternoon, so I start my live streams normally at 2 p.m. UK time. And of course, wherever you are in the world, the time will be slightly different. But that is the time I always start my live streams. It is always 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you. I will try to fix the echo. I don't know why it's not working. I have no idea why my lovely echo is not working. In today's live stream, we are going to take a look at words and phrases to describe common occurrences, things that might seem as if they happen often, or maybe things that seem to happen or appear frequently. We are talking about expressing commonality. So when we talk about commonality, we talk about things that are common, often seen, things that you might see around, or maybe things that are talked about quite often. So we talk about commonality when we are discussing things that are common. They are seen very often, things that might occur perhaps in nature. So you can have common things that happen in nature. Maybe seasons. During each particular season, during the year, things will happen frequently. They will happen quite often. We can describe them as common. They are common effects. Hello also to Zoya. Hello, Zoya. It's nice to see you here. Very nice. Mustafa says it is very strange to hear Luis Mendez echo without the echo. I have to say it does. And I'm rather annoyed about it, to be honest. I'm going to shake my fist at my computer. Do you mind? Annoying computer. Very annoying. Anyway, I will try to sort that out if I can. I would not be surprised if it's my fault. I think somewhere down here, I think I have pressed a button which has cancelled the echo. The only problem is I don't realise that I've done it, and I'm not quite sure what I have done. Even if I know that I have done it, I'm not quite sure what it was I did to make it stop working. Anyway, I will try to sort that out. It might take me a while because I'm rather busy at the moment making new lessons, new short lessons. Also, we have Christmas coming up in a few days, and I suppose I should say now we are going to be together on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve this year, I think it's Sunday this year. Am I right? It seems to have come round so quickly. So on the 24th, which I think is Sunday, I will be with you live. And of course, Mr. Steve will be here dressed as Santa Claus, and I will be one of Santa's little helpers. So I hope you will join us for that. Meanwhile, today we have lots of things to talk about. We have a lot of other things as well. Who else is here? I like saying hello to my lovely viewers because without you, I wouldn't have this. Because you are the most important thing here. Because without you, there would be none of this. Orlando is here. Hello, Orlando Amancio de Souza. I love your name and I hope I pronounced it correctly. Who else is here? 2 more mentions and then we will get on with today's live stream. Patrick. Hello, Patrick. Nice to see you back with us as well. I haven't seen... Has anyone seen Claudia? I haven't seen Claudia. today. I wonder where Claudia has gone. Zoya. Hello, Zoya. And also Nico as well. Lewis says, Mr. Duncan, I think you have done the same thing as Mr. Steve, because sometimes, I don't know if you remember in the past, but Mr. Steve would sometimes mess around with my laptop or my computer or my iPad, and sometimes he would make things stop working. We are going to celebrate Christmas Eve together. Yes, we are. I will be with you. I can now announce live that I will be with you on the 24th of December. We will be celebrating Christmas Eve together, relaxing here in my new look studio. By the way, I hope you like this because everything looks different. Mr. Steve hopefully will be with us on Sunday because he has been busy doing his concerts for Christmas. So I'm hoping on Sunday Steve will be over there somewhere in his comfortable corner. So on Sunday we will be revealing Mr. Steve's comfortable corner. And the big question is, what will it look like? Find out on Sunday as we reveal that. I will be back in a moment with, yes, you know what I'm going to do today. We are going to talk about English. Do you mind if we do that? Well, of course you don't, because that's the reason why you are here. We are looking at ways of expressing common things in English. Don't go away. English Addict is with you on a Wednesday afternoon. I hope you're feeling well today. And I hope you are ready to study, learn and practice some English. And don't forget to give me a like as well. If you like what you see, give me a lovely thumbs up. That would be ever so nice if you could do that. I would appreciate it very much. So today we are talking all about things that are common. You might be surprised to find out just how many ways there are to express things that are all over the place in many different places. Many places where you might see something that is obvious, something that is common. I suppose a good example would be, going into town. If you go into town, you might see lots of people, you might see lots of vehicles. They are common sights, things you see often. So that is what we are looking at today. Things that are common, things that we see quite often. Expressing common things is what we are doing today. And I hope you are ready for that. Common. Something that is common is something that is often seen. Something that you might see often is commonly seen. Maybe if you go to a certain place at a certain time, you will see something that is common, something that is in many places, something that you might see again and again and again. So that is the most basic way of describing the word common. Something that you will see quite often, something that you will see often, and it is often seen. Obvious. Something common can also be obvious. Something that can be seen quite often is described as obvious. A thing that is clear to everyone can be described as common. It is obvious, something you can see in many places. Perhaps if a person is talking about a certain subject, maybe that subject is very easy to understand. Maybe you already have some knowledge of that thing. We can also say that that is obvious, something that might be basic, something that everyone knows about can be described as obvious. Maybe you have two choices. Perhaps you have two choices. Maybe you can take a luxury holiday, or maybe you can have £10,000. Which would you choose? Would you choose the holiday or the £10,000? I think it is obvious that most people would choose the money. They would choose the cash. I think it is a common action. So something that a person is likely to do, something that you can guess very easily, is obvious. It is common for people to do that particular thing. It is something that you might expect a person to do. Something that is clear is visible. A common thing is often seen. It is seen clearly. It is visible. So again, as I mentioned earlier with my example of going to a certain place, if you go to London, for example, and a few weeks ago I did go to London and I made a lovely lesson in the capital of this country, and there were many common things that I saw around me. I suppose two of the most common things were the famous red buses and also the famous London taxicabs. So there were many taxis, many black taxis, many red buses. There were things that were very clear and obvious. They could be seen. They were common things that I saw during my time in London. A thing, of course, can be everywhere. It can be all over the place. It is something that is in many places. It can be seen all over the place. You might see it in the countryside. Perhaps if you come here to the countryside where I live, you might see lots of things that are everywhere. Cows, sheep. They are everywhere around here because the area in which I live is surrounded by farms. So something that is everywhere, we can describe those things as numerous, numerous things. Numerous. Things that are numerous are things that you will see quite often. They are common. They are everywhere. Hello, Orlando. Again, thank you very much. I'm glad to see that you have decided to stay with us. Thank you. Nguyen Van Duk says, are you speaking quite slowly? Well, I'm not speaking slowly, but I am speaking clearly, because if you can't understand what I'm saying, then there is no point doing this. So that's the reason why a lot of people like to watch my lessons. They like to watch my live streams, because I am clear. My accent is very lovely, I think, even though some people don't like it. So that's the reason why. If you are teaching something, then you have to be understood. People have to understand what you are saying, or else you are wasting your time. Everywhere. Things that are everywhere can be described as numerous. There is a large number of those things. An everyday thing can be described as common. A common thing. An everyday thing. So you can see underneath here we have the word everyday. So this is a complete word. It is not split. It is not divided. Something that is everyday. An everyday moment. An everyday occurrence. An everyday sight is something you see quite often. So in this sense, we are using the word everyday just to mean a common thing, something that you will see quite often. Something that is popular might also be described as common. It is something you might see in many different places. You might see them in certain places, or maybe a certain group of people will like that particular thing. Something that is common amongst a certain age group. For example, certain pop stars, certain singers, certain musical artists might have a certain age group following them. It is common for teenagers to listen to Lady Gaga, for example, although I do happen to know that she has lots of fans of all ages. But certain types of music, you might say that it is common for certain ages to listen to that type of music. It can be very popular. Something can be common amongst certain groups of people. Something that is obvious, something that can be easily seen, is conspicuous. Conspicuous. I like that word. So that is today's great word for repeating. Conspicuous. Something that is conspicuous is on show. It is obvious. It is something that is common. Maybe something you can see clearly. Maybe a thing that you can see without having to look closely. It is conspicuous. Maybe a person who is standing outside your house. You don't know who they are. Who is that person? Who are they? Why are they standing outside my house? They look conspicuous. They are on show. They are easily seen. You might notice something very easily, and because of that, we can describe it as conspicuous. Something that is apparent. Apparent. An apparent thing is clearly seen. It is something you can see easily. A clear thing. A common thing. Something is very obvious. It is apparent. This is a word that I'm sure you are very familiar with. Do you see what I did there? Yeah, because I used the word in the sentence. Oh. Something familiar is a thing that is recognized. To recognize something that you easily identify is familiar. A familiar face, a familiar name, a familiar place, maybe something that you recognize, maybe something you see in many different places can also be described as familiar. It is a thing you already know. It is a thing you have seen before, and that is the reason why it is familiar. Here's an interesting word, quite often used negatively. We often use this word in a negative way when we are talking about something that is seen perhaps too often, maybe something you see or hear too many times, maybe something that might be described as dull or boring. It is commonplace. A thing that is commonplace is something that you might see in many different places. It is something that is everywhere. You might say that a certain thing is commonplace. So we can use this particular phrase negatively to mean that something is all over the place. We keep seeing it again and again. It is commonplace. It is something that you will see many times during the day. Not always a good thing, by the way. You might think that seeing the same thing or hearing the same thing again and again might be a good thing, but for some people it's not, because it might be a little boring. Something frequent. Again, I like this word because it can be used in different ways. Frequent. Frequent means something that often occurs. To be frequent. Maybe if you go to the shops and buy new clothes, you might say that you are a frequent shopper. You often go shopping. It is a common activity for you to do. Something frequent often occurs. Maybe if you go to a certain place quite often, to visit a certain place or to go to a certain place often can be described as frequent. Maybe you go to the same bar or the same club quite often. We can say that you frequent that particular place. You often go there. Prevalent. Something that is prevalent. It is in many places. Something you see in many places. We can also say prevalent. So some people pronounce this prevalent or prevalent. So there are two ways of pronouncing that name, just depending on your accent. In many places, maybe you can describe certain weather conditions as being prevalent. Wind. There is a prevalent wind. It is coming across the hills. It will soon be everywhere. Something that is in many places. Something is prevalent. Another way of describing something that is common and often seen is numerous. As we mentioned earlier, I think we mentioned this word earlier on, numerous. Something that is often seen, a common thing. Numerous. There were numerous people. There were numerous types of cars. There were numerous types of food. So when we want to talk about something that we see, maybe many things in one place, we can say that there are numerous many things can be seen. Here's another one. Something that is easily found. Something that might be in many different places. Quite often things that we need to survive. We need certain things. We need them to be nearby. We need them to be available at all times. Something that is easily found can be described as copious. Oh, I like that word. Copious. A copious amount of water. A copious amount of food. Something that is everywhere. It is easily found. Animals can find food at certain times of the year. There are copious amounts of food during the summer for the birds and the wildlife to eat. Here's another one. So something that is easily found is copious. I like that. Here's another one. Again, we can use this particular phrase when we are talking about the weather, perhaps the weather, a certain weather condition. Something is widespread. Maybe a habit, a type of behaviour, maybe a certain type of disease, illness or virus. You can say that it is widespread. It is something that is occurring across a large area. So we can often use the phrase widespread to mean across a large area. So you might find that thing is common. It is seen or experienced in many places because it is widespread. Here's another one. An occurrence can be described as a happening. Now, it might sound strange to use that word in such a way, but we can say that something, an event, an occurrence, a thing that happens, may be something very unusual. An unusual moment of time can be described as a happening. I think there was a film called The Happening. Who remembers that film? There was a film, and it was all about people who were going a little crazy because of something being carried in the wind. Who remembers that? A very strange film, actually. So an occurrence can be described as a happening. Something that is common, something that is happening in many different places can be described as rife. Something that is widely spread, something that is happening often, maybe a certain thing that is occurring many times over in different places. We can describe it as rife. It's a great word, rife. It is everywhere. It is all over the place. We have two more to look at. Oh, now this is a negative use of the word common. When we talk about class, levels of society, the amount of wealth or the earnings or income that a certain person has, we talk about class, the levels of class from wealthy to poor. Common is a word that is sometimes used quite rudely to describe a person who might not be very well educated, or maybe they are seen as being a lower class of person. Common, the common person, the common person in the street or in society, a common person. Maybe a person who doesn't have very good manners. Maybe their way of behaving is not very sophisticated. We might describe that person as common. Oh, you are so common. Why do you pick your nose? Oh, that is so common. Stop it. So quite often when we talk about common, we are often talking about maybe a person who appears to be lower in class. By that, I mean their level of society. So we often use the word common, a common person. And we have one more to look at. And this is a phrase that we sometimes use in English. We might describe a person as common as muck. Common as muck. When we talk about muck, we are talking about dirt. We are talking about things that are unpleasant. There is, of course, another word I could use, which is a swear word. We can say that a person is common as muck. If that person has bad habits, or maybe they don't live up to other people's expectations, maybe in society, you might describe them as common as muck. Compared to Mr. Steve, I might appear as common as muck. Maybe not. I don't know. So that is today's subject. We're looking at common things, how to actually describe things that you see in many places. We might, of course, talk about common words, words that you might use a lot in English. So you might say that there are many words that you use commonly in English, common English words. So that means words that will be frequently used. Conjunctions, for example, are often used in English to create sentences because they are used in sentences to formulate the meaning. Without those, we wouldn't really be able to express ourselves very well in English. So to express common things, you can use things commonly, you can use things frequently. There are certain words you might use often. There are certain things you might do. Common activities, common events, things that you do all the time, things that often happen. The live chat has been very busy today. I do appreciate, by the way, it is very common for people to leave lovely messages on my live chat, for which I am always appreciative of. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of your company today. And of course, I will be back with you on Sunday. Yes, Sunday. 2 p.m. UK time, we can be together for 2 hours maybe an hour and a half. We will have to see how Mr. Steve is feeling, although he has no excuse because next Sunday Steve will be sitting in his comfortable corner because I have my new studio layout and Mr. Steve now has a comfortable place in which to sit. All will be revealed on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. If you want to get in touch, there is my email address. You can also follow me on Facebook as well. A lot of people don't realise that you can actually follow me on Facebook as well. And as you may also know, I do all of this for free. So if you want to give a small donation or a big one, if you've just won the lottery and you want to throw some of that lottery winnings this way, so I can carry on doing this, you see, because I don't charge anything. I do all of this for free, and I've been doing this for free for 17 years. It is true. I started doing this way back in 2006. And that, as they say, is almost that. It's almost time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for your company. You can watch this live stream again later with captions. Hopefully YouTube will process this quickly. Sometimes they take a long time doing it. It takes them maybe 24 hours to do it. So hopefully today they will do it quicker. Could you please do that, YouTube? I would be ever so grateful. See you on Sunday. See you soon. Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. I know I say it often because I want to make sure you remember. And of course, give me a lovely like as well to show that you care. And I will see you on Sunday. Don't be late. And Mr. Steve will definitely be here on Sunday in his comfortable corner. All I have to say now is thanks for watching. See you soon. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of the English language saying thanks for watching. See you later. And of course, until the next time we meet right here on YouTube, you know what's coming next. Ta-ta for now. Thank you.